the air. Beauty everywhere. Answers it's everywhere. Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. High by the fireside. And everywhere. Christmas time is here. Happiness. And are you gonna stab me with a fork, Hannah?
No, this is for trolls in the chat.
Please don't stab me with a fork, Hannah. I've been good this year. Did I show you my Christmas video?
I saw it. It's beautiful. I couldn't make it better.
I needed to be up early today to speak to the cunt of a contractor, and I wound up staying up until like 3:30 or 4 in the morning just because I kept wanting to add little touches, like let me zoom in on the guy's face, let me.
Well, you got BlackBerry in there, which is like a.
There were so many little things that I wanted to add to it. I wanted to make the NordVPN thing scroll instead of just stay there. It was like all these stupid little things that took time.
Mel told me who that was, and I was like, they keep emailing us, and I feel like I've sent this to him like 12 times. And if he wanted it, he would have told me.
There's 2 videos on why NordVPN sucks that I've done, and they still contact me.
We don't even watch this.
Watch what videos?
NordVPN.
You're not supposed to watch my stuff. That's a waste of your time.
That's what I'm saying. How am I supposed to know that they're garbage?
Oh, well you should.
That's why I kept forwarding all that stuff over, and then.
NordVPN being garbage is just a general internet meme at this point. They got hacked.
I'm not on the internet. I don't believe in the internet.
You don't believe in the internet. That's because you're from the South, isn't it?
Discord.
That's because you're. Do they have internet in the South?
In some places, no.
Wow.
My grandma doesn't have internet.
How are you today? Been better. My contractor raised my blood pressure several times today. It's one of those times where I think it's actually really handy that I have a nervous system issue that causes me to have tremors or shakes from my hand to not be steady, because I think there's a chance that my contractor thought that I was going to hurt him, and that's why he said, we're not going to charge you additional money to do the restroom, rather than him just thinking, no, I'm just my normal self. So it was actually it was like, because like I'm standing next to the guy, and he's like, yeah, that's going to be extra, and like my hand is like doing this. I hadn't had breakfast yet. And yeah, that just aggravated me. It's like, so, yeah, he takes a change order out of his pocket, and my hand is shaking, and then Paul goes, that's not a change order in your hand for the bathroom, is it? That's not a change order, right? Because you wanted $28,000, and we didn't lowball you, and you... That's not a change order, is it? Because to clean up all the broken drywall, to do the electrical in the front, and do the floor, it's very obvious there's a bathroom there. Don't wear yourself out with overtime. What to do? Anyway, so there's other stuff that we wanted to do. So we had to figure out if we're going to do a partition wall. I was not going to do it, but now is really the time to do it while shit's open. And putting a counter in, doing the electrical for the counter, that's going to be like another 14 or 15K. That's painful. But no, he said that the bathroom was extra, and like Paul, I love the way Paul did it. It's gonna be on the Patreon page soon. I'm gonna have a passworded video for that on the Patreon page, just because like some stuff I'm making public immediately, some stuff I'm not. You know, it's like it depends on how comfortable I feel. This one I think is best to stay passworded. But the guy just like he takes out a clipboard with a change order on it, and like I love the way Paul looks at him. Paul just gives the guy a stare and goes, "That's not a change order in your hand, is it?" Because like I saw the clipboard. That's not a. Yeah, you don't have a new quote in your hand, right? Like after you, it's like that's what pisses me off. It's not even like we nickeled and dimed you. You gave a price. We said, okay, let me think about it. I thought about it for a day. I spoke to other contractors who were admittedly, the other contractors are totally fucking useless. I don't even mean they gave bad quotes. They just didn't show up or didn't give quotes at all. I thought about his quote for a day or two. I came back to him, and I said, here's your check. Obviously for the deposit, not the whole thing. I'm not crazy. But you don't get to say shit like, oh yeah, we were just going to leave it like that where you have to step down to the bathroom. Fuck you. You know what you signed up for. But, you know, you have to be civil with people until the job is done. And I'm not really good at balancing this. I'm either good at being very, very uncivil or very kind, understanding, patient. Because I never want to be a customer to people. I don't want to do to others what customers do to me. It sucks. So, but I don't have that in between. Steve is actually very good at this. He occupies the gray area that I don't occupy very well. Very, very well. Because I would have either gotten steamrolled, and either way I would not have had the bathroom done. I would have either gotten steamrolled, and he just would have had me pay extra for it, which I wouldn't have done. Or I would have murdered him and stored him in the basement. Because they have a lot of I could have made a nice little coffin for him in the basement out of all this plexiglass they have there. Like, I would have done one or the other. Like, but either way, I wouldn't have gotten my bathroom. And one way, I probably would have ended up in prison. Anyway. Just thinking about it just raises my blood pressure. Like, that's the... It's kind of like if I give you back a machine. It's like I fixed your board and the screen doesn't work. It's like, well, I mean, if I knew your screen was broken and the cable was corroded and it was green, filled with corrosion, the pins were missing in the cable, I should give you a quote that includes that or just not fucking quote you at all. But maybe that's me. Anyway. Feel free to show it in chat. What is it? I don't know what it is. Please avoid using pronouns in my chat. When people say, did you see that? Did you know him? I don't know who these people are or these things. The less the pronouns, the better. Anyway, either one way or another, the costs are going to be adding up, so such is life. No use complaining about it, much use fixing things. Because fixing MacBooks will help. Not fixing MacBooks will not help. Let's fix a MacBook, shall we? All right. Why does Paul always eating when I'm starting a stream? Oh, color designs. Thank you. I thought it was a question to me. It looks like of all the chats here, only 2 of them are Twitch. Strange. I tried to read my chat. Hey everybody. How's it going? I'm going to try to lower my blood pressure through MacBook repair. Let's see if it works. Here we have a MacBook that's not turning on. It has no power. Let's see if it powers on and functions. Or if we can get it to power on and function. Ah, a happy little MacBook. All this MacBook ever wanted to do is Mac, but Apple designed it so poorly that it's not able to Mac.
Hello, welcome.
I don't know, Pink Senna. Should start using the quote from the Mandalorian. This is the way. Huh. I see blue. I see a plant. I see a station. I don't know. Did we say a color for the tile? I mean, for the counter yet, Paul? What is the color?
Black.
So it's a black counter?
A black marble counter.
Black marble counter. How does that go with a light color of wall? You think so? Erica's idea was red, white, blue, plant, and chair. I'm not sure. That's quite a random assortment of pasted images, Erica. Show my proposed one. I don't know which one is your proposed one. I have so many messages from Erica. I don't know. Erica's messages. I have a lot of confusing messages from Erica. I'm going to go back to fixing MacBook at the moment. Erica is a mod. She can post things here. I don't know which one she wants me to post. You sent me a million things on Discord. I don't know which one you want me to show. You have a, but you can copy and paste in chat. You're a mod here, I believe. I see a plant, I see blue, and I see a chair. That's just confusing to me in so many ways. I don't know what to do with a plant. We're talking about a counter. Okay, anyway. I never read Twitch chat, you cunt. Yes, Pinkson is Erica, and she's trying to confuse me by sending pictures of a plant and a chair. Absolute trollery. Alright, so we're inside this machine. And we have a Samsung 970 EVO SSD. So somebody has replaced the SSD, but they're saying it doesn't power on. Now, one thing that makes me sad here is seeing that a Phillips screw is used on the SSD rather than the standard Torx T5 screw. Erica now knows what it feels like to be one of my viewers who emails me design ideas and they just go to and they just sit there unread as I go through repairs all day. Erica's realizing what it's like to be a fan. Oh, okay. Anyway, so you say, could you? Okay, so we're gonna turn my multimeter and my power supply on. We're going to turn on the power supply in one moment. I still haven't closed all the tabs that I usually close before I get started streaming. I should actually make sure she's a mod so that she can post a link. Okay, so she is a mod, so she should be able to post a link. Alright. What is the Pepsi update? Pepsi is at the same level, however there are a lot of cigarettes on the floor. That kind of ticked me off. It's one thing to smoke in the space. Can you at least make the effort to hide it or sweep up your fucking dirty cigarettes before you're done with the day? But it is what it is. It's a New York City contractor. You can't expect them to make you happier. Okay. Okay. So it's taking 25 milliamps and not turning on. That makes me very sad, because that's typically PM Sleep S4L missing. Let's take the board out of this and see if it's PM Sleep S4L missing or something that's actually fixable. Is this a board for me or a board for Chris? One way to find out. Alright, I spent an hour on a board that had missing platform reset, but was turning the fan on with no corrosion. It's in Chris's status now.
CPU?
Chris is the new Paul.
Yeah.
Every time there's a board like that, it's going in the Chris status instead of the Paul status. He doesn't speak English, so if it makes him sad, I won't know. What do you think, Paul? I'm getting a call with my food. Hello?
Hello, the food is coming outside?
Yeah, it just come in the store. It's just open the door to the store and just leave it on the desk.
Okay.
Those delivery people are not as smart as they used to be. How hard is it to find me, given that I'm the only tenant of this entire building?
Sammy's was an excellent call.
Good stuff.
God bless you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Can you smoke inside of New York? No, you cannot. Because like there was one place that was telling me about, before you even told me what you wanted the countertop to be like, they wanted 15,000 to 16,000 just for the counter by itself. No mahogany, no granite or anything. So him, like, he quoted similar, but that includes a partition wall, a door, all the electrical work. He's still, like, sadly, like, as shitty and aggravating as this experience is right now, it's sadly better than what you get from most New York City contractors. And plus, the guy that gave that quote probably wouldn't show up after you gave him the check. Or wouldn't show up to collect the check. I think a part of it is a lot of these contractors have a lot less men than they sound like they do. So if they get a job that has a higher profit margin at the time they were talking to you, and they know they can't do both at the same time, they just stop talking to you. That's what would make sense to me. Either that or they just really hate making money. I think it's the second. So I'm going to confirm whether or not this is a PM Sleep S4L, a little quicker than usual, because my lentils just arrived and I would like to eat them. They're very good. I've gotten addicted to this place. It's really, really good food. Just amazing stuff. Okay, so we're going to plug this in. You're going to give me a green light in the charger or else. Also, for that counter, Paul, how does that fit in with the fact that I want a tech to be up there and actually doing instant estimates and everything?
It's good.
Like, how many people can fit at that counter?
I'm hoping 5.
Is it going to be a setup so where people can actually have a microscope and a little monitor to show the customers? Wouldn't it be cool if you could, because if you're going to have a television up there, doesn't it make sense to have the microscope camera go to that so they could say, here, you can look at your machine on screen? Because the idea...
If anything, have the little 8-inch monitors right off the back of the microscope.
I'm not getting a green light. Let's see if that's because my MagSafe is screwed up or my SMC is not turning on. .5, so the SMC is turning on, but the green light is not turning on. But I don't know if that's because of my shit charger or because of this MacBook. I really do need to get a new MagSafe cable. This MagSafe cable is very disappointing. So I'm going to use a MagSafe 1 that I know lights up, that's actually clean. Neither of them give a green light. Very interesting. So our issue here may be a lack of green light, more so than a missing PM Sleep S4L. Now the issue is not going to be that the SMC is not turning on, because the SMC has to be turning on for PPBus to be what it is. And I see something funny right around the one-wire circuit. Huh. Now, I don't know if that's been soldered before. I don't know if that's just bad soldering from the factory. I don't know if I'm just seeing things because I want because I'm hungry for Thank you very much, Shark with Manners, for the 9 pounds and 99 ounces. Pence? Doesn't make sense. Why do we use ounces instead of pence then when sending first class mail? That is a cup of water, yes. It sure is, C80. Okay. Well, let's get an idea of what's happening by this one-wire circuit. I have a kitty cat. My kitty cat's name is Little Berry. I have another kitty cat who's out of butt wipes at the store. I used up all my butt wipes on him. Today, he's actually getting smarter. I'm starting to give Oreo an incentive to use his intelligence and have a brain that has curves in it rather than a smooth brain. I think his brain is developing curves. Because when I picked up the kitty butt wipes, he looked at it, he heard the noise of it opening, and he instantly ran away to the one spot of the store I can't get to him in, which is right behind the speaker. I can't get to that without cleaning two workbenches plus a 100-pound speaker. So he's getting much smarter. He has an incentive now because if he wants to remain dirty, he has to be more intelligent. Hi, Lewis. If I order you and your staff donuts from DU's Donuts, would they like that? I've never heard of DU's Donuts. Also say hi to Paul from a British Army veteran. Shark with Manners says hello from a British Army veteran. What is DU's Donuts?
Never had them.
I don't think anybody here would say no unless they were poisonous, but we have Kevin for poison testing, so thank you. I can't eat them because I am I'm watching my girlish figure, trying to become less of a fat ass. So anyway, let's see what's happening here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see what adapter sense from the charger is. Because if the charger is not putting out 3 volts, then this is pointless. And it looks like I get 0 volts on adapter sense. That's not good. That means my charger is not even trying to communicate with the machine. Now, let's see what I get on... Let's see if this chip is even turning on. Or perhaps this chip is shorted to ground, and that's shorting my adapter sense to ground. You never know. Let's see what I get on pin 1. Pin 1 is 3 volts, so the chip is receiving power.
I finished. I asked him for some of the lives. He didn't give me what?
The one, okay, that's interesting. Says one wire is actually 3 volts, but adapter sense is nothing. So let's see if that's simply because of I'm using the wrong charger. Let's go back to the MagSafe 2. 1 volt is 3 volts is there at pin 1, and adapter sense is still 0.01 volts. Now that means there could be a number of things wrong with this. Behind door number 1, the DC in board could be bad. The DC in board is what's going to allow adapter sense to communicate with the machine. As you can see over here, thank you very much, Jim Hook. We will use those butt wipes to wipe Oreo's ass, and by we I mean mostly Steve. Steve will wipe Oreo's ass. Oreo will go home once Lewis's data is fully recovered. Steve's probably going to take all my porn and nasty crap from that 10-year-old drive and post it online.
In that case, anybody who Lewis's data, start bidding.
Lewis, your donation alert is too loud. I can't hear myself, actually. I don't even think I have it turned on. Did I even have this turned on? I didn't. Whoops. Yeah, it's hooked up to my headphones, not my speakers, so I didn't even think I had the volume up. Alright, let's disconnect the Bluetooth by plugging it into the charger. And lower this thing so that doesn't happen. Okay. Now over here, adapter sense is 0 volts. So this could be a number of things. Behind door number 1, both of my chargers could be bad. Always possible, but I don't like it. Sorry about that. Hopefully it is fixed now. I don't know if it's fixed now, though. Let's see. Supreme Overlord, Office Cat, leaves the office. I'm not sending any more donuts. Yeah, Steve keeps trying to get me to send Oreo home. So JP said no more donuts will get sent if Oreo goes home. Yeah, I want Oreo to stay. No, Oreo is here to make sure. Wow, what the fuck is this? My audio just took a huge dump. I don't know what are you doing, Open Broadcaster? What the fuck are you doing, Open Broadcaster? Okay, hopefully that's fixed. Anyway, let's try this one more time. So, if the charge port is bad, it's not going to pass adapter sense to this chip. The charger could be bad, but I tried 2 chargers, so I don't know if that's going to be what it is. And the third thing that could be potentially bad is U7000 could be bad and shorting this to ground, which is a possibility that I would consider here because the charge chip looks like this, which is not supposed to look like. One thing I could do is remove that chip and see if it goes away. The other thing I could do is unplug the DC in board and plug a new one in. But I don't have a spare DC in board here for an A1398. I'm not sure where I would find one.
Boom!
Paul just gave me one for Christmas.
No, I did not.
I have
It's
it.
on loan.
Paul just gave me a new DC in board for Christmas. Wow. Maybe with this luck I'll get a 3D X-ray machine next. Okay. So we plug this in. And we still don't have a green light. Now let's see if anything's changed on adapter sense. Nothing, 0.09 volts. Now, one thing I want to check on just because, what the hell, is it present at the charge port but not present on the chip? Now on the charge port, adapter sense is going to be the one that's all the way to the left according to the according to the board view. And it's still 0.09. So that didn't fix our problem. Which makes me wonder if this chip is shorting adapter sense to ground. This is behavior that I have never seen in all the years I've done board repair. I've never seen a Max 9940 chip from the one-wire circuit shorting adapter sense to ground like that. That's really strange. But you never know. Maybe this will be our problem. If this is our problem... Hannah, have you said hello to Oreo today?
Yes.
Look at that cat.
I'm Oreo themed today.
So, JP said that we're not getting any more donuts if Oreo Cat goes home. So he has to stay here.
I'll take cookies.
Tell Oreo that, tell Steve that Oreo is going to stay. No cookies, no donuts, no nothing. He will,
I can sleep. I can't talk.
tell Steve that Oreo is going to be permanent.
Oh man.
Yeah, now Oreo is going to stay. Alright. Now I'm going to plug the charger in, and it's not going to have a path to the SMC. But I'm still curious to see if adapter sense is going to go up to a higher voltage. Hi, Lewis. What was the Marine unit? Was Paul in? I was in the 9/12th Royal Lancers A Rec unit. What is that? Paul, do you know what that is? What Marine unit were you in? It was the...
Headquarters Battery, 3rd Battalion, 14th Marines, 4th Marine Division.
So what? Huh?
Headquarters Battery, 3rd Battalion, 14th Marines, 4th Marine Division. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Why can't there just be something simple like an 820 number? Why can't it just be like 820-39825 or something? That would be nice and easy to remember. Paul says, I will donate 2 liters of Pepsi if you build the reception desk yourself. Paul probably could build a nice counter.
Too much equipment needed. I'm not driving my truck up this line.
Alright, so we get, looks like 0 volts and adapter sense still. That's really strange. Really strange. Maybe because it doesn't have the ability to communicate with the SMC now? We're going to replace that chip, and if that doesn't work, I am going to enjoy my lentil thing before I come back to this board. Oreo, 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 the cat. Why can't it just be simple? Spoken like someone who's never been in the military, says JP. $639 board, it'll be a bin job. Paul Daniels has located signs of a refurb. I think I got an Apple junk board, Paul. Let's fix Apple's junk. What's the company that's doing Apple's refurbs? Is it Flextronics? And oh my god, did they really solder on top of corrosion? No. Oh, come on. This is the first thing I go over in every video. You scrape and file. I'm not saying that you have to put down new pads and go crazy with that shit, but like just... if you see that something was minorly corroded, just use your wick and file a little bit. You know, this isn't like the architect that I hired that wanted, you know, $20,000 to change the CO of the place. You know, filing is not that expensive. It's just wick and your soldering iron. Nice and simple, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Okay. Pretty. Just booting, says Moon crashed. When people buy treats for your office, do they remember to include crayons for Paul? What would Paul do with crayons?
I'm old school Marine, we eat glue.
You what?
I'm old school Marine, we eat glue, not crayons.
Why would you eat glue? Why would Marines eat glue or a crayon? I'm missing something in this meme. Paul has much better taste than to eat glue or a crayon, I imagine. Alright, we're going to give this a second to cool off, and I'm going to see if once that chip turns on and there's communication with the SMC, if the adapter puts out more voltage on this board. If it doesn't, I'm going to then cry into my lentils and move on to the next one. Anel's going to help me bring my Nordson 3D X-ray machine down from the chimney. Anel's a good guy like that. Wished I was closer. I'm very good at painting. Very good. Huh. Yeah, we're gonna have to paint too. Paul is gonna be painting. I'm gonna paint actually. I only painted once, and it wasn't as fun because I didn't get a chance to get the paint on the wall. All the paint wound up on my shirt. But I'd like to try again and see what happens. Alright. As you can see, we now have a green light. And we are taking 1.6 amps and the fans are spinning, which means this works. Not only have we fixed our board by replacing that chip, but I also got a new DC-in board for Christmas.
Hey, I want that back. You're not keeping that. I'll eat it. Spit it right back out at you.
Shit, no bullets.
All my weapons are gone.
Have
I'll
the-
hurt you with that.
Have this. So let's go over what was wrong with this MacBook. The first problem with this MacBook is that the board had a barcode with 639 on it. Paul, do you like boards with little white stickers that say 639 on them?
No.
Why not?
That means they've been touched by somebody else.
Yes.
Some factory.
And the person that touched this little board, this little MacBook,
Bad touch.
you know what they did to this little MacBook?
Bad touch.
They replaced U7000 and soldered the chip on top of a corroded joint. Really? Independent repair are the people that need to be qualified. Independent repair are the people that you need to be afraid of. Independent repair are the ones that may not be doing everything right. Wow. Like, what do I say in every video when I start working on anything with even the remotest liquid damage? Don't solder on top of corrosion. I don't add solder to corrosion. I make this gentle filing motion with the iron. Even if I'm not using wick, I'm doing that. I add flux, I have solder on my tip, and I do the filing motion to ensure that I'm not adding solder to a crappy pad. It needs to make a good connection. So we look over here, and there were several possibilities as to what could have been wrong as to why it wasn't charging. So we take a look over here. Adapter sense needs to be able to speak to the SMC, and this chip acts as a bouncer. One of the things I've said before is that the charger has a 3-volt data line, adapter sense, and it has, so the charger has a 3-volt data line, which is adapter sense, and then it has the 18 volts on pins 1 and 2, which is going to potentially, if you're drunk and you're plugging it in wrong, that's going to, if you turn it around, send 20 volts to your SMC, and SMC no likey. No LTX 2020, and no Nerf gun war. No, but maybe. No, most likely no. So if we look over here, you'll see that this goes to the SMC. And what U7000 does is it says, oh, are you sending 3 volts to my SMC? Go for it. Are you sending 20 volts to my SMC? Fuck off. So that chip happened to either die or be soldered improperly by whoever put this lovely little 639 barcode on my board. And we replaced it, and now the charger has the ability to speak to the system, and it works. So that's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'm going to go eat my lunch now and answer this phone call that just came in. I'll see you in the next video.